Hail heroes! This video will explore performing tests in the Thinning Vale and in Cormac Mac Airt on the other side of midnight specifically. When called upon to perform a test, the test will come in two types. One is keyed, which will be keyed to an attribute on your dashboard. For example, the entry might say perform might 3. And that would mean you're going to be testing your might and you'll need 3 successes. Therefore, it follows that if it says will 2, you would need to be testing your will attribute and you would need 2 successes. Cormac has 6 in will and Cormac has 5 in might. He would roll a number of custom dice corresponding to his current value in these attributes. The second kind of test is not keyed to an attribute. For example, a search test. The entry in the book may say something like search 2. This is most common. You will be required to roll a hand of dice, all 6 dice, needing 2 successes. The combats are successes, and you can see that I've rolled 3 here, and that would mean that Cormac has successfully searched the tile or zone that he is in. Now, this is Cormac here. This is all 1 tile or 1 zone. It's not 3. So now that he's successfully searched, Cormac will place a search token onto the tile, and that way you know that any treasure there has been found. And Cormac would then draw a card from the treasure deck and see what he's found. In this instance, Cormac has found the Tarnished Shield. Now this will grant him 1 defense, which will reduce incoming damage by 1 from enemy attacks. It has 1 durability. It is of inferior quality. There are 3 qualities in the game: inferior, standard, and superior. Superior tends to belong to items which are referred to as artifacts or relics. Before an attack is made against this hero, you must choose whether or not to use the shield. It is a large item. Cormac will be carrying that in his hand unless he has a backpack. In regards to the quality of an item, if an enemy were to attack Cormac with, for example, 3 dice, it might on its behaviour card inflict 1 damage, and the interact symbols might mean something else. Had the enemy generated the enemy result, which is the demon head, then it would do 1 durability damage to this inferior item, and this tarnished, rusted, battered old shield would be broken and of no further use, and discarded. A superior item will have more durability, and that would be tracked on the card. There would be an icon here for it. To damage a superior item or a standard item, more enemy symbols would need to be rolled when the enemy attacks. So, for example, should an enemy attack with 4 dice, this would damage an inferior armor. 2 enemy symbols would damage a standard quality piece of armor. And it follows that 3 would damage a superior quality piece of armor. However, if the attack misses and does no actual damage, then these results are worthless to the enemy and your shield would remain intact. Correspondingly, had Cormac been using his own sword and attacking an enemy, the quality of the item in this instance is standard. Let's show that to the camera a bit better. And you can see that it has a durability of 3, and it adds 3 damage to an attack, and these attacks must be made at range 0. That means the tile that Cormac is standing in. This corresponds to the value of the item in gold coins. This is the size. Size categories are small or large. And that's how many hands it takes to wield the weapon. And this is simply its corresponding number in the weapon deck. This is the icon to track its durability, which is done on the black dice. Dialing down as the blade becomes increasingly damaged. Now, how does a weapon take damage? When Cormac attacks, he has 5 might, so he would spend a combat to make an attack on 5 dice. Cormac has hit with this attack, and with 1 success. He would then add the 3 damage to that success from the longsword, and that would inflict 4 damage upon the enemy. However, if the sword happened to be inferior quality, it would take 1 damage. It's not, it's standard. It would have required Cormac to have rolled 2 enemy symbols for it to have taken any damage. Preserving your weapon and finding a means to repair it between games can be integral to your survival in games with a thinning veil and Cormac Mac Airt on the other side of midnight. Thank you very much. We hope you've enjoyed this short tutorial video.